Oh, hey, look who we got. Mr. Brian.
Here you go, Brian. Oh, you brought an audience.
You brought an audience.
Even better.
How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
You ready?
Absolutely. I've been born ready. I don't know about my seating position here, but
You sure that's the side you want? You want to switch? You want to switch chairs?
right.
So for people that don't know, you can introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, my name is Brian Pritchard, A to Z Dependable Services in Niles, Ohio, around the Youngstown area. If you draw a line between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, we're right smack dab in the middle.
Very cool. Also a piano player?
What's that?
Also a piano player?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing the piano since I was about 6. Yep.
And singing?
And so that's about 20-some years.
About 15 years?
Yeah, something like that.
So tell us about your business and how you got started in business.
Oh, it's pretty interesting. So I've always been a serial entrepreneur, like many people here.
Oh, yeah.
I've always had a whole bunch of stuff I was dabbling with since I was a kid, whether it was cutting grass, washing cars, cleaning the chrome on cars, or putting furniture together. I even programmed VCRs at one point for people that didn't know how to program the VCR to record their favorite shows.
What's a VCR?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what Ivy's asking right now. He's like, what is that?
So there was always something. So I was going to school for business, working at Sam's Club. At Sam's Club, I was doing outside sales. I got exposure to a lot of business, and I was like, I'm going to be in business. So I was going to school for business, and I was living at home. I was 22, 23 years old, going to YSU, working at Sam's Club, and the drain clogged at our house. Guy came to clean the drain. My dad said, "Hey, this guy's selling a business. This is a business you should get into." And I'm like, "What?" And I look out the window and I see this beat up Astro van that says A to Z sewer cleaning. I'm like, I'm not going to clean sewers. What's wrong with you, Dad? And he's like, no, seriously, just come down and talk to the guy. I said, no, I'm not going to clean sewers. Look at me. Do I look like I want to clean sewers?
Business guy.
Yeah, some business guy, Dad. And he's like, just come downstairs and talk to the guy and see what he's got to say. And I said, all right, cool. Go downstairs. The guy's talking, blah, 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 blah. That's what I heard. But then he said, I raised 8 kids. My wife never had to go to work. There was always food on the table. There was always clothes on their back. 3 of my kids put them through college. So I'm like, wow. And I'm good with math. 8 kids plus him and her, that's 10. So I'm thinking 10 versus 1. There's 1 of me, 10 of them. All right, I get pooped on, whatever. That was it, man. That was it. So literally the next day, I went to the bank. I applied for a loan, and at school, I had just learned how to write a business proposal for getting a loan. So it was like right at the same time. So I delivered that proposal to the bank, went to work, and I said, hey, I'm putting in my notice. I had been there for 4.5 years. And I said, I'm putting in my notice, and they said, for what? And I said, I'm going into business. And this is Sam's Club. They wanted me to do manager and training. They wanted me to like stay and raise the corporate, go all corporate. And so the manager said, well, how do you know what, tell me about the business. And I said, well, the guy came over to the house yesterday. He said he had a business for sale. And I went to the bank and I applied for a loan.
Yes.
And he goes, and you're quitting now? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I said, I'm going to work with him for, a couple weeks or whatever to learn it. But yeah. And he goes, so you didn't even get approved for the loan? And I said, no, but if they say no, the other bank across the street will say yeah. If they say no, the other bank across the street will say yeah. And he's like, Brian, I'm going to tell you this. If you ever need to come back, we'll always take you back. But with that attitude, you'll never have to come back.
Yeah.
And Sam's Club is still a customer of ours.
Oh, really?
I learned how to put in my first water heater at Sam's Club. I learned how to flood on a commercial bathroom at Sam's Club. And he knew it too. Yeah. He knew I was just sort of using Sam's Club as my training ground, and he was all cool with it, man. He's like, yeah. So it was really cool.
Talk about not burning bridges.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
Just
you can't.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I got the loan.
You got the loan.
Yeah, and no, there's no reason to burn bridges. I gave them the notice.
Yeah.
They kept me on. I mean, I wasn't an employee, but my company actually made money off of the business that they gave me. So, they helped me,
Yeah.
when I was starting out in business. So
That's an awesome story.
it's fun.
How
It's
long
been
ago
fun.
was that?
Excuse me?
How long ago was that?
28 years.
Wow.
So 28 years. And my first year sales hustling was 36,000. That was my first year.
Damn.
We do 36,000 on a bad day now,
Yeah.
right? So last year we finished at 9 million and 10,000. We were
Yeah.
just
So what did it look like when you joined CEO Warrior? What did your company look like at that point?
well, I knew enough to know enough that I didn't know enough.
That
Right?
Sounds about right.
So
yeah.
we had a first decent year where I put money in the bank, paid out bonuses, had a big ass Christmas party.
I don't
Yeah,
know,
you're good.
Yeah, I had a really big Christmas party with a live band, and it was a really fun time. That was in 2014. Had all my vendors paid ahead in January, like made money, but I knew enough to know that it won't sustain if I don't get some coaching and some training. So I
Yeah.
seeked out CEO Warrior. And really, that's the best thing I ever did, because really since then, it's been a trajectory moving forward. I think we were under 2 million, maybe like 1.8 million when we joined in 15. And yeah, we're now over 9. But it's been a nice, slow, steady growth the whole time. I call it slow, but it's like 20-30% a year. And
That's still
so
really good.
yeah,
It's not
okay with it.
the stories you hear online, but it's 20-30% every year is really good.
well, and the thing is that one thing I think is the most important, and that's why our company, me and the company, won the award, the Dustin Folkes Award, because I never wanted to get to the point where, like, I do walk in and I don't know people sometimes. Like, I didn't know people's names, and I think somebody else that was on here earlier, and I'm like, who is that guy? And it's like, to me, that's bad. Like, I want it to be to the point where I know who they are, so we have to put things in place so that I know who they are. I want to see their picture on the company staff hangout, and I want to see their face on our company Facebook page, and I want to see their face on the screen and the TV. Like, I want to put these things in place so that everybody knows, and then we want to have breakfast to celebrate a new employee, and we want to have like a meet and greet. So every time we have a new person, we do things like that. Or we find ways to celebrate people so that we don't lose that connectivity, because I felt that pain when we grew too fast.
Yeah.
So like that's really the thing that I think has helped to keep us.
So
moving.
that's a transition that I'm dealing with personally. And how do you avoid losing that culture when you get busy?
When you get
Busy.
ooh, well, right now, one of the things that we did, and I took a lesson from CEO Warriors, we hired a culture coordinator.
Okay.
And the culture coordinator, her main purpose is to recognize employees first, know who the employees are. I handwrite a personal birthday card, anniversary card to everybody that's there. She preps everything for me, gets everything
Wow.
ready. She preps for our parties. So we have company parties at least every quarter. We have something going on. More than every quarter, but usually it's
So
every
that's
quarter.
that. What I hear you say is you're spending money on that, and that's
Because it's
you
important.
have a position that's obviously an overhead expense. The parties are overhead expense. So that's money that's essentially coming out of your pocket, because that's could be profit, net profit. But you're spending it on that. Is it worth it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I feel it's worth it if I make less money, or if the company makes less money, but we have a strong culture. Having that strong culture, it pays dividends in the long run. Like, I'm not looking to get rich off of 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm in it to see employees' kids come on board. Like, I brought
that's
Joe
cool.
with me here. Joe's stepson that he raised.
Yeah.
He works for us now. He's doing HVAC,
Oh, that's cool.
plumbing. He's doing great. Jeremy's been with me for 18 years. His son's been with us for a couple years. Chris Carr, he's been with us for 12 years. His son's been with us for 3 years.
Wow.
Jeff Krause, he's my warehouse manager. His wife is our CSR. Now she's a CSR manager. She's been with us. He's been with us for 7 years. Melissa, she's in dispatch. Melissa's husband, he works for us as well. Like,
This is a
When I
family.
talk about a family,
Yeah.
it's no lie. I mean, it's really a family.
So with that being
awesome.
said, how do you avoid family drama?
You don't. I mean, there's going to be family drama,
Yeah.
and everybody knows that the tolerance level is based upon what's best for the business, not what's best for the individual. They know that. They know that all coming in. And when you know that you really actually made a difference is when you hear your people training to that without having anything to do with you, saying, hey, I know you're my sister and I love you, but business comes first.
Right.
If you're a crap head,
You can
I'll
say
fire
it, it's
you.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you're a shithead.
I mean, you're in COR's building. You can say
Yeah, right.
right. But I mean, that's the thing. So when they're speaking to that, that's great. That's how you know you're winning. And then when your culture speaks to the don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and you have a job. Like if you don't lie, and you don't cheat, and you don't steal, and you don't try ripping people off, like you're gonna you're gonna stay here. You're gonna grow.
Have you ever had a couple working with you and split up and stay? Like, okay, so
They've split up
I
personally.
had this happen in my business, and the reason why I asked you is, so I was very weary about hiring a wife of a technician to work in the office, and I did anyways. She was a great person. She's still our CSR. They went through a divorce, and we were like, this could be kind of tricky because he's a very, very good technician. She's a very, very good CSR. We don't want the drama in the office. We don't want the drama in the work at all. Never brought it to work. Very cordial all the way around.
Right.
But that's not what I expected to happen. Like I expected to get drama, and
Oh, yeah.
thankfully that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's amazing that what you see, what ended up happening is people rise to the occasion of being disciplined and being like a real human, because they could have gotten really crappy with each other, but they didn't.
Right.
And they know that, because that speaks to your culture though too. That
Yeah.
speaks to how you've built your culture, because if you didn't, and it's a willy-nilly just do whatever, like, I'm going to cause drama, then it's
Yeah.
a little different story.
That's a good point.
So yeah, so I can't think of an instance where there was a breakup or a separation or something like that created drama for us. I wouldn't say that there's never been any drama, but everything sort of self-corrects in the long run, you
Yeah.
know, and it's culture corrected. It's not necessarily management correction. Sometimes it's
That's
culture.
cool. That's when you
pushes it
really
out.
know you've done it. Whenever the rest of the culture is the one that's doing the correction.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
and that's
sure.
where you see the payoff of the brunches, the events, the gatherings, the cards, all that stuff that you put into place originally. You see that payoff. Your dividends may not be financial, but it might be headache, stress, all
Right.
that other stuff that comes with it that business owner faces.